What you're about to hear is my phone-in contribution to the former BBC Radio Leeds weekend entertainment programme entitled Martin Kelner's Late Thing, which took place in April 2005. Martin Kelner's Late Thing was simultaneously broadcast on a further 3 BBC local radio stations, these being radios Humberside, North Yorkshire and Sheffield, constituting the Yorkshire and Humber BBC local radio network.
Let's go to Joseph, who's on the WIRRAL. Joseph, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Well, as you've heard, Crystal is our main winner.
That's right.
However, do you like country music?
I don't mind it.
And who doesn't? Well, who doesn't like country music?
How long have you got?
Oh, you've got to love country music. Willie Nelson and Friends, Outlaws and Angels. It's got guest appearance on it by Bob Dylan, Keith Richards. I don't think Keith knew he was guesting on it.
Yeah,
he just turned up and didn't know what it was. Toby Keith, Kid Rock, Merle Haggard, Al Green.
Should be a treat to listen to.
Yeah, Toots Hibbert. It's actually... And Carole King. It's a bizarre...
Is Carole King still alive? Well, clearly, yeah, but, you know.
Carole King's very much alive. She's marvellous. They did a film about her life called Grace of My Heart, I think it was called, which was loosely based on her.
Diana Douglas, you know.
Was it? Yeah, it was loosely based on Carole King. Anyway, you can win this. That's the good news. But you have to answer a question from Bob's Big Book of Blockbusters.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What N is a synthetic material invented simultaneously in New York and London?
Mica.
No, N for nuts.
What? N for nuts.
N. It's a synthetic material invented simultaneously in New York and London.
Nylon.
Nylon, of course. And you know how they get the name, because it's Nylon.
Right, I didn't know that.
Oh, you see, you learned something. It's BBC, educational. That's true, isn't it? Educate, entertain and inform. If we can get the entertain bit going, we'll be laughing. So we'll shove this prize in the post to you.
Yes.
Just tell me a little bit about yourself, Joseph.
I'm unemployed. I'm 33 years of age and I'm unemployed.
Right, giving us a lot of information there. So 33 years of age, unemployed. If you were employed, what would you be doing?
Well, I'd like to get into electronic work.
Yeah.
As an electronic technician.
A few things here that need fixing.
Yeah, you come round here, we need electronic technicians. And the Wirral is where all the footballers live, isn't it?
Yes, it's also got the highest number of horses per square mile.
So I'm going to say something else then.
The highest number of horses per square mile. Now, I never knew that. That's a fact that I'm going to use over the whole of the Easter holiday. That should get me out of a lot of social engagements if I, keep spurting on those sort of facts. Anyway, Joseph, thank you very much indeed for taking part.
Thank you.
All the best to you. We'll shove this DVD in the post.
That's great.
And if you stay on the line, Darren will take your details, won't you, Darren?
Yeah, no problem.
And you'll whack it off to him.
Oh, yeah.
The DVD. Whack it off, great. Excellent. Thanks, Joseph.
The VHF Band II, i.e. FM radio transmitter site, whose transmissions can reach that at my home on the Wirral in Merseyside, is located at Home Moss on the Pennine Moors outside Leeds in West Yorkshire. The VHF Band III, i.e. digital audio broadcasting radio transmitter, whose Radio Leeds broadcasts could just be received in a substantial part of the Wirral Peninsula area, is located at the Emley Moor Broadcasting Tower. When using a high-gain Band III Yagi-Uda array aerial and, in some parts of the peninsula, a small aerial Band III signal amplifier as well, the BBC Radio Leeds' DAB transmission can be received. The primary purpose of this transmitter site is to broadcast UHF Band 5 digital terrestrial television using the relevant digital video broadcasting standard for Britain. It's radiated from aerials contained in the cylindrical glass reinforced plastic shrouds pictured at the top of the tower. Radio Leeds' DAB transmission aerials are situated just above the link room, at the top of the concrete section of the tower, and below the glass-reinforced plastic cylindrical shrouds, known as GRP shrouds, on a steel frame-like gantry at this location and secured to the pre-stressed concrete tower at its top. There's other aerial systems on this steel aerial gantry, such as those for the emergency services within West Yorkshire for their wireless communications, and other forms of private mobile radio systems, short and longer range shrouded SHF parabolic dish aerials, for point-to-point microwave wireless links, etc. Arquiva collects rent from communication companies, including cellular telephone and wireless broadband providers, who pay money to install their communication systems aerials on this steel frame gantry and on other locations on and within the tower being hollow. The Emley Moor Tower site owner is Arqiva, formerly known as NTL, a company born out of the privatisation of the Independent Broadcasting Authority in the year 1991. Prior to the IBA coming into being in 1972, in order to set engineering and technical standards for the soon-to-be-launched independent local radio franchises and also to provide transmission facilities for them, an organisation known as the Independent Television Authority provided the television transmission facilities for the ITV companies. It was the ITA that commissioned the design and construction of the Emley Moor Television Broadcasting Tower and its associated Regional Operations Control Centre for the whole of the north of England after a catastrophic structural failure of the previous aerial support structure, this being a guide steel lattice mast which stood on the Emley Moor Tower's site until March 1969 when it collapsed. This was apparently due to a build-up of ice on the mast's cable stays. The ITA's civil engineering contract for the design and construction of the tower was awarded to O'Varrop and Partners, who were the design consultants, and Tileman and Company Limited, who undertook the building contract. The tower was topped out, i.e. construction completed, in November 1970. The start of UHF Band III PAL transmissions from the Emley Moor Tower officially started on Thursday the 21st of January 1971. Prior to this date, there were a number of test transmissions for engineering test purposes.